What's up, everybody? I just wanted to make this real quick to say my videos aren't for everybody. I'm asking more from my audience than the typical YouTuber is. The typical YouTuber wants to make content that is easily digestible for the widest possible audience to make the most money. And that makes sense, but it also makes them very surface level in the types of messages and content that they create, which for the most part, there's nothing wrong with that. But one of the issues that I've had with YouTube for such a long time, or content in general, is I usually like the deeper stuff. So you have to really scratch the surface to find the kinds of content creators that make deeper content. I want to go in depth into certain topics. And that doesn't always mean highly digestible presentations of your points and ideas. I want to have this feel like we're sitting down having a conversation. AKA, it's okay that it goes off on the tangents every now and again, or all the time. I'm really bad at this still. So I want to make sure that when I'm making videos, I feel conversational first. And one of the things that I tried doing was having a script where everything was well laid out, and it deadened my delivery even more so than what it usually is. And it was really painful to get through. It wasn't feeling like it was me having a conversation with you. So I decided to start doing bullet points instead, where I would read off a certain little piece and then just tell you what I thought about it. I just wanted to speak my mind on some of these videos without worrying about having the packaging being 100% correct. They call it packaging, which is when your thumbnail is as clickable as possible. The title goes with the thumbnail in a very curiosity loop type way, which makes you really want to click on it to figure out what the answer is to it. So you click on that, and then the first 30 seconds, there's supposed to be a payoff. And then within the first minute or two, there's supposed to be another bigger payoff that gets you curious for the rest of the video. And then there's a rhythm of building curiosity loops and then finalizing them with giving you curiosity for the next thing. And that's what the whole video is about until at the end of 8 to 12 minutes, the video is done and you're left feeling good about a nice presentation. But what are you walking away with that's deeper, that's real, that's human? It adds a lot of filler into the video just to make sure that it's presentable for the most people. And for the most part, I don't have a problem with that for other people. But for me, I'm trying to figure out how to make this real, have it feel like I'm having a conversation with you, and also giving you deeper information. The no BS version of all this information. That's the direction of my channel, at least for right now. The other day, I got a negative comment, which I'm okay with negative comments. And I wanted to highlight this here. The guy said, "Since you started the video admitting it's clickbait bullshit, I'm downvoting. That was stupid." And that's fine that he said that. I don't really care. It gives me engagement anyways. It helps out the channel. I appreciate you, Mr. Chicken Wang. I want to talk about why I'm not just some commercial YouTuber guy. I'm a normal guy that's an audio engineer as a trade, as a profession. And I want to give you the most real, honest information possible. So I made this video. Let's talk about this example. I made this video called YouTube Sucks. And I was talking about the things, the frustrations that I was dealing with working within the first 3 months of YouTube trying to get monetized. The things that I noticed, the trends that we all probably notice as we are starting a YouTube channel. And this is a musician's channel. This is for musicians. Musicians that want to get better, that want to succeed, want to grow their business. This information is for those people. So if you're not one of those people, I could see seeing something like this and being like, this is not that great. You're not showing me how much you made on YouTube or anything very specific, or giving me false hopes on how to make a very successful YouTube channel. What I wanted you to take away from that video was that there are challenges that you are going to face and that you're going to want to push through those. I'm not sitting there complaining, saying YouTube sucks and therefore that just is what it is and I'm just ranting for no reason. No. What I like to do is I like to figure out what the problem is, really clearly identify what that problem is, and engineer a solution. It's the same thing being an audio engineer. I search for problems all day long. I find them and I try to make them better. Oh, you're not hitting that note. Oh, that singer's not doing that well. Oh, that performance wasn't right on guitar. I I search for those problems. I fix them. And I suggest that you guys do the same thing. I deal with so many artists that deal with so many frustrations on uploading to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, God forbid. And over the years, it's been frustrating trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And I want to be honest about my journey. That's one of the reasons why I started this, was to show you guys how I feel as I grow through this. I'm not starting this channel as if I'm an expert in content creation. I'm just showing you guys what I'm finding as we go. So to my audience, this video is for my audience, the people that watch regularly. And if you're new to the channel, just know that this is the type of stuff that I'm on. I want you guys to know what it feels like in a very neutral way that you can build from, that you could learn from. It's okay if you're having frustrations trying to figure out how the TikTok algorithm works. I know tons of people that have released hundreds of videos on TikTok and barely get any traction, barely get any likes, barely get any comments. It's tough. It's rough. So we have to go through this and figure out what the problems are and how to solve those solutions. And after only 3 months on YouTube, I'll tell you, I don't have all the solutions. But I'm going to point out the big outlying problems that I see. And one of my big problems with me being on YouTube is that YouTube's algorithm rewards clickbaity style topics. It rewards you kind of copying other successful things and riding the coattails on existing channels that are releasing popular ideas. Same goes for music. If you're making music that is digestible for a wider audience, then you are going to do better just right off the bat. Like, it's going to feel easier. If you're doing something really niche and something that is unique, the more unique it is, the less people are going to like it. So you have to learn how to work within that world. And that's okay. That's exactly what we are facing when we go into this. You need to know where you sit on that spectrum. Like, do you make the most popular sounding music possible? The stuff that fits right in with the mainstream stuff? Or do you make something that feels way different? You have to be very clear to yourself how that works and how you can work within that model. And the more niche your genre is, the more you're going to have to be careful with how you proceed to get an audience, to get a bigger audience. I stand with all the musicians that I work with over the years, even the ones that I don't work with anymore. I know the frustrations they're going through. I know that it's hard to constantly create content. I know that it could feel hopeless. I know what it's like when people put their everything into this and it doesn't go anywhere. I'm chipping away at this, but it feels like right now that I'm not going anywhere. My watch time hours have plummeted since the first couple months on YouTube. And I've got a lot of other things outside of YouTube that are going on that is keeping me from it being an easy, consistent thing to do. I now know what it feels like to have a lot of videos not do as well as you would like and still have to put out another one. Still go through that failure over and over and over again. I've been telling artists for years now how important it is to get yourself out there, to learn how to promote, to learn how to make content, and to learn all the individual lanes of success, and to learn all the different paths to success that there are in the music industry, and educate yourself on those as much as possible. I'm having conversations daily in the studio talking about these types of things. And we're sitting there, we're trying to figure out what the numbers are at. How can we get them a little higher? How can we get this thing to work or that thing to work? I'm bringing my camera around. I started making little videos for these artists to be able to release on their page. Anything to kind of ramp up the amount of content. But even then, it's still rough. I don't want to just make a video talking about the top 3 ways to get successful or to get monetized, and that's it. I may talk about those things a little bit. I understand it's more digestible, but I would rather you see the bigger picture here. I want you to zoom out with me and discuss these bigger topics. Then you could go in, zoom in, and figure out exactly what this little mechanism here is. How does TikTok work versus Instagram or YouTube? And as I learn these things, I do want to share what I learn as I go. And I definitely want my audience to give me feedback on what they would like to see, what questions they have about the music industry. I'm still new to this. I'm still shaping my channel. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of ideas I could stay consistent enough with to be able to build a channel at the same time, to build my own brand, and to learn at the same time while doing everything else in life. I appreciate your guys' patience for those who actually watch these videos. If you haven't already, make sure to like this video, dislike it, I don't care, subscribe, yell at me in the comments and tell me I'm stupid. I'll talk to you later.